Hi class, today we are going to look at the correction for paper 1. So question number 1, which pair is correctly matched? So meaning that you need to find the correct one. So we look at the first one, methanol. The formula is CH3OH. So all of the atoms are non-metals, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, non-metals. So the particles, it should be molecules, okay, molecules. Okay, copper 2 sulfate. The formula is actually is a combination of copper 2 ions and then the sulfate ions. So the particles, it should be the ions, so not molecules. Carbon dioxide is carbon dioxide CO2, so carbon and oxygen non-metal. So it is molecules, not ions. So ammonia is NH4, NH3. So ammonia is molecules because all are non-metals. So the answer is donkey. Okay, question number 2. Diagram shows the patient undergoing the gamma knife therapy. The gamma radiation used to destroy the cancer cell is generated by an isotope. So what is the name for this isotope? Okay, so the isotope used to treat the cancer patients, right? So it's the cobalt 60. Cobalt 60. So it's boy. Okay, number 3. The following statement refers to the contribution of the scientists in the development of the periodic table. So it study the X-ray, okay, so the X-ray spectrum of elements, and they arrange the elements in the periodic table based on the increasing of the proton number, okay, increasing of the proton number. So who is this scientist? So he is the Henry J.G. Moseley. So remember that. Okay, question number 4. Which of the following solvent can dissolve the potassium oxide? So here you have to know potassium oxide is a combination potassium ions and then the oxide ions. So this is the ionic compound. So ionic compound, you will dissolve in what? In the water, okay, not the organic solvent. So this is organic solvent, this is organic solvent, this is organic solvent. So A, B, and D is for the covalent compound. Okay. Question number 5. Which of the following is a monoprotic acid? Okay, monoprotic acid means that it produces 1 mole of hydrogen ions. Okay. Here we don't care it is the strong or weak acid. We just want to see whether it is a monoprotic acid or not. So propanoic acid, so when it ionizes, you will form the C2H5, COO, and then with the hydrogen ions. So phosphoric acid, so it produces 3 moles of hydrogen ions and then phosphate ions. Okay, then sulfuric acid produce 2 moles of hydrogen ions and then sulfate ions. Then carbonic acid, 2 moles of hydrogen ion, and then the carbonic acid, carbonate. So we can see here, this one produced 3 mole, this one 2 moles, 2 moles. This is 1 mole only. So the answer should be A, okay, monoprotic acid. Phosphoric acid, this one we call it triprotic acid, protic acid, okay. Then this one 2 moles, we call it diprotic acid. Question number 6. Which of the following is an insoluble salt? Okay, so insoluble salt. Okay, let's see. Silver nitrate, okay, see. Nitrate, all are soluble, right? So ammonium, all are soluble. Potassium, all are soluble. So they are soluble salt. So except C, calcium sulfate, okay? For sulfate, will be PbC, right? Lead sulfate, barium sulfate, and calcium sulfate. This one have to memorize. It's a insoluble salt. Okay. So the answer is C. Question number 7. Which of the following solution will form a white precipitate? Okay, white precipitate, and then insoluble in excess sodium hydroxide. Okay. So here for the white precipitate we have 5, right? Okay. So you can categorize them into pizza, lead, zinc, and aluminum. Okay, and then McDonald, magnesium and calcium. Okay, so this one pizza, this one McDonald. So insoluble in excess, so it's this group, magnesium ions, calcium ions. This one insoluble in excess. Pizza is soluble in excess. So which one we can see? Lead. Okay, Pb. Yeah. So zinc and aluminum pizza here. So meaning that the answer is magnesium chloride, because we want to see for the magnesium or calcium. Here no calcium. Okay, so lead, aluminum and zinc, these three, they are soluble in excess. Soluble in excess. So the answer is boy. Question number 8. Which of the following pair of chemical substances will produce effervescence? Well, when react, effervescence meaning that it is the colorless bubble gas, colorless bubble gas. So which one will react, will produce the effervescence? So meaning that produce a gas. Okay, copper with sulfuric acid. Okay, copper with sulfuric acid. Copper is an unreactive metal. Okay, so if reactive metal, yes, it can produce a gas, but copper cannot. Lithium with water. Okay, yes, lithium with water it can produce. Silver nitrate and lead, no gas is produced. Chlorine and potassium hydroxide, also no gas is produced. So this one no, this one no. So the answer is B. Okay, so lithium react with water. So you produce a lithium hydroxide and then a hydrogen gas is produced. So it's not balanced, we need to balance the equation. Okay, so this one times 2. Okay, let's try. So this one times 2, this one times 2. Okay, so it's balanced. So the gas produced here will be the hydrogen gas. It will produce an effervescence. Okay, question number 9. Okay, so diagram shows a graph of temperature against times. Temperature against time for heating of solid Q. Solid Q. So meaning that here will be solid. Okay, when solid, you heat it and then your temperature increase until 80. Okay, so this one becomes a constant. So this one you have to know this is the melting point. Okay, so when it is the melting point, the mixture with solid and the liquid. Okay, then when it reach Y, then it will be totally melt. So this one will be liquid only. Okay, so which one is true, class? So solid Q start to melt at X. Okay, start at melts. Yes, it start to melt, right? Heat is released at W and X, W to X. So this one should be not released, should be absorbed. Kinetic energy is low at Y. So kinetic energy in liquid actually is moderate already. Compared to solid, it is higher. Okay, kinetic energy is higher. The particles are very far apart from each other at the Z. Okay, very far apart, not very far. Okay, very far apart, it is for gas. Okay, but here at Z is only liquid. So it shouldn't be very far apart. Okay, question 10. Element P and Q, they have proton number of 11 and 19. So which statement is correct? So now we look into P and Q. So P, proton number is 11, so electron also 11. So meaning that the electron arrangement is 2, 8, 1. Q is 2, 19, so it's 2, 8, 8, 1. Meaning that they are in the same group, group 1, right? Because they have the same valence electrons. So now we look at here, when going down, the meaning that P is higher in the group 1, but Q is lower in the group 1. So we can see which statement is correct. So the melting point is P, for P is higher than Q. Okay, Okay, the answer should be A. Okay, is higher. Yes, correct. P is higher. Oh, because um, the attraction force is stronger, so the melting point, the more heat energy is needed to overcome the force of attraction. Now we look into B. Atomic size of P is bigger than Q. So this one is wrong. Should be smaller because Q, it has more electron shells. So the size should be bigger. Atomic size should be bigger. Then density of the P is higher. So normally if the size is bigger, atomic size bigger, density also be higher. So should be Q should be higher. So this one is wrong. Okay, this one smaller. This one should be lower. Then electropositivity of P is higher than Q. So electropositivity here meaning that it is the ability to release the electrons. Okay, so meaning that this one we can say it is a reactivity. Okay, so reactivity. So it actually for P it should be lower. Why? Because for the Q, the attraction force is weaker, right? Attraction force is weaker. Is weaker. Okay, so that's why the attraction force between the nucleus and the valence electrons is weaker. So the valence electrons, the one valence electron is easier to be released, right? Okay, so release one electrons. So meaning that this one is easier, easier to release. So meaning that it is more reactive. Okay, more reactive. So in other words, Q should be more reactive compared to P. Okay, or we can say Q is more electropositive than P. Okay, so the answer should be A. Question 11. Okay, when a white metal carbonate is heated strongly, the residue is brown when hot and then turn yellow when cold. So which of the following metal could be X? So we must know that if the residue is brown when hot, yellow when cold, so meaning that we know this is the lead 2 oxide. I hope you have memorized already. So in other words, the X should contain the lead. Okay, it should contain the lead. C. 12. Okay, 19.2 elements, gram of elements M react with 21 gram of Y to form the compound which have the formula of My2. So what is the relative atomic mass of the M? Okay, so how to solve these questions? So here, okay, we work reversely. Okay, so now we have M, we have Y. Okay, we have two elements here. Okay, we have the mass already. So this one is 19.2 gram. This one is 21 gram. Okay, so here we have this one, the mass. Okay, so we can find the mole. Mole, we have the M, we don't know. So we 19.2 divided by the molar mass is the M. We don't know. Okay, but Y we know. Okay, so 21.0 divided by the Y here is given to you is 35. Okay, so the empirical formula given here, M is 1, Y is 2. So meaning that is 2 here, M is 1. So how to find the M? So we can use the cross multiply. Okay, cross multiply to find the M. Okay, so we can rewrite again like this. So meaning that 19.2 divided by M times 2, right? Times 2. So equals to 1 times 21 divided by 35. Okay, so by doing this way, we can find the M actually is what? M is, okay, 64. Okay, so the answer is C. So you have to know how to work reversely, especially this here. Okay, especially this one. you have to know how to use this my2, meaning that the empirical formula, the ratio is 1 and 2. So by doing this, we can find the relative molecular mass for the M. Okay, question 13. Diagram shows the scuba tank used by the deep sea divers containing 79% of nitrogen and 21% of the mixture of the oxygen of the unknown elements. So what is the unknown elements here? So this one is, you have to know. Okay, so the unknown elements should be the helium. Should be the helium. So the answer should be D. D. Okay, now 14, 0.2 mole of zinc powder react with excess. So the keywords excess dilute nitric acid after 5 minutes. 0.05 mole of zinc remain as the residue. So what is the average rate of reactions? Okay, so here we can see we have to find out the mass of the zinc powder used. Okay, the mass of the zinc powder used per unit of time. Okay, so meaning that class, we look at this question. So initially is 0.2 mole, then after 5 minutes remains 0.05. So meaning that we know that the number of mole of the zinc have to be used to be 0.2 minus 0.05 remains, right? So meaning that it used up 0.15 mole of the zinc. Okay, so 0.15 mole, what is the mass? So the mass of zinc used is 0.15 mole times the molar mass is 65. 65. Okay, so 65, 0.15. So what is the value? So you use your calculator. Okay, 0.15 times 65. So it's 9.75 gram. So how about the average? So we have the mass is 9.75 gram over the time. Time is 5 minutes. 5 minutes. So the answer should be 1.95 gram per minute. Okay, so the answer is boil. Okay, okay, now which pair of the isotope is used correctly? Krypton 85. Okay, so thyroid problem, it should be iodine 131. Iodine 131. Okay, so kill cancer cells, so this one should be cobalt 60. Estimate the age of the fossils, so this one is carbon 14. Carbon 14. Sodium 24, to track the leaks in gas or oil pipes underground for underground. So yes, the answer is correct. D. Okay, so 16. Diagram shows the volume and concentration of potassium hydroxide solution and ethanoic acid. So which statement is true for both experiments? Okay, so we know that ethanoic acid is a weak acid. Okay, so ethanoic acid is a weak acid, correct. So higher pH value, low degree of ionization, this one also correct. Low concentration, this one correct. Okay, so which one is true? Let's see. Potassium hydroxide solution is a weak alkali, so this one is wrong already. Okay, this one correct, so A is out already. Low pH value, okay, so this one is also wrong. So pH should be more than maybe 12 to 14, the pH, because it's a strong alkaline. So B also out. High degree of ionization, yes, ionized completely. Low concentration of hydroxide ions, so this one low. is wrong. This one should be high concentration. So this one is correct. So the answer should be C. C. Okay, 17. Following equation represent the reaction between the zinc metal and sulfuric acid. So what is the salt? Okay, so zinc, it forms a zinc sulfate, right, and hydrogen gas. So zinc sulfate, outside wrong, zinc sulfate. Okay, so zinc sulfate is soluble or not? Yes, it is soluble. So okay, it is it is soluble salt. Okay, question 18. Which of the following solution have the same number of hydrogen ions as 50 cubic centimeter of 0.1 mole per cubic decimeter sulfuric acid? So sulfuric acid, you have to know it is a diprotic acid. In other words, when it ionizes in water, so you produce 2 moles of hydrogen ions and then 1 mole of sulfate ions. So first we have to calculate the number of mole. So mv over 1000. So all we need to calculate is mv over 1000. So here we can calculate m is 0.1, v is 50 over 1000. Okay, so you will get you'll get 0.005. Okay, but when it ionizes in water, it produces 2 moles of hydrogen ions, right? So meaning that the mole here will be double, 0.01 mole. Okay, 0.01 mole. Okay, so the following one you have to compare, see whether the hydrogen ions produced is the same number of mole or not. Okay, why? Because once you have the same number of mole, so you times the Avogadro constant, you will get the same number of hydrogen ions, right? Okay, so here mv over 1000. So mv over 1000, you get 0.01 mole. Okay, so hydrochloric acid is a strong acid, so when it ionizes in water, produce 1 mole of hydrogen ions only. So if here 0.01, here also 0.01. So meaning that this one is the same. Okay, then the other one, okay, nitric acid, mv over 1000, 0.2 times 50 over 1000. Okay, you will get 0.01 mole also. Okay, so nitric acid produce hydrogen ions and then nitrate ions. So this one, if 0.01, this one also 0.01 mole. So meaning that this one also the same. Okay, so 1 and 2 is the same. Okay, now number 3. So ethanoic acid. Ethanoic acid is the weak acid. So when it ionizes in water, the concentration will be much more less. Phosphoric acid also weak acid. So meaning that these two, they are weak acid. So they cannot produce it is ionized weak acid. Okay, ionized partially only. Okay, so meaning that the number of mole for the hydrogen ions will be very less. Okay, very low. So 3 and 4 is out already. So the answer it should be A, 18. Okay, question 19. Okay, method to prepare a soluble salt. Soluble salt. Okay. So sulfuric acid with X. So X excess. Then if produce a salt solution, then you heat and then you get the salt solution. So what is the salt X? Okay, salt X. So we know that if we want to produce a soluble salt, right? Okay, we can use the metal oxide, right? Metal oxide. So we will not use the nitrate salt. We will not going to use the chloride salt or bromide salt. So these 3 are out already. So meaning that only one remains, that is a copper 2 oxide. Okay, so copper 2 oxide react with the sulfuric acid. So you produce the copper 2 sulfate and then water. Okay. Beside, if you want to produce a copper 2 sulfate, beside using the copper 2 oxide, you can use the copper 2 carbonate also can. So you produce a copper 2 sulfate, carbon dioxide and water. Okay, but here no copper 2 carbonate, so only left copper 2 oxide. Okay, B. Okay, 20. The solution following equation represent the reaction between the potassium hydroxide solution and dilute sulfuric acid. So what is the volume of acid needed to neutralize the alkali? Okay, so this one I will use the formula MAVA over MB, BB equals to A over B. So A for acid, B for alkali, or base. So we will replace in everything. So Ma is the concentration of the sulfuric acid, so 0.5. Volume we need to find Va over MB. MB is the concentration for the alkali, so 0.5. BB volume used, so it's 50. So A is the number of mole for the acid, is nothing, means 1. B for alkali is 2. Okay, so all you get already, so we use the cross multiply. Okay, so you will find out, use your calculator, your VA, it should be 25, right? Cubic centimeter. So the answer is boy. Next question, 21. A student want to identify the cations present in the solution, so cations. When the sodium hydroxide solution is added into the solution, okay, brown precipitate is formed. So what is the method needed to be done next? And the observation expected to confirm the presence of the cations, right? So if brown precipitate is produced, so only one possibility, that is the iron 3 ions, because it has the colors. Okay, so if we want to test for the iron 3 ions, okay, so iron 3 ions, the confirmatory test, so we can use the potassium thiocyanate. Still remember what we had done in the lab. So we add in the potassium thiocyanate solution, and then you produce a blood red solution, right? I purposely show it to you in the lab. So this is the confirmatory test for the iron 3 ions. Okay, diagram shows the method used to store an element. So if you see paraffin oil, okay, it is used to store the group 1 metals, alkali metals. Okay, why? Because they are very reactive metals. Okay, so we don't want it to react with the water and the oxygen in the air. Okay, so why the method? Okay, the method is to avoid from reaction with water and oxygen in the air, because it is very reactive. Okay, here reactive is correct, but it is not volatile. Volatile means it will change to gas easily. Okay, alkali metals, it won't change to gas easily. Okay, so it's wrong. B. 23. Okay, the following equation represent the decomposition of the copper 2 nitrate. So when what is the volume of oxygen? So oxygen is here. When 1.89 gram of solid copper 2 nitrate is decomposed, meaning that if here is 1.89 gram. Okay, so here we can calculate the number of mole first. Okay, so step 1, we calculate the number of mole for copper 2 nitrate. So mass is 1.89 divided by the molar mass. You calculate. Copper is 64 plus nitrogen is 14 plus oxygen is 16 times 3 and times 2. Okay, so roughly you get, use your calculator, 1.89 divided by the molar mass. Okay, so you roughly you get 0.01 mole. Okay. Now step number 2, a lot of students miss this steps. Okay, mole ratio. So 2 mole of copper 2 nitrate produce 1 mole of oxygen, right? So if 0.01 mole, so meaning say here 2 to 1 means half lah. Okay, so this one divide by 2, 0.01 divided by 2 mole of oxygen. Okay, then finally we can calculate the volume of oxygen. So it's 0.005 times the molar volume is 24. So you will get you get 0.12 cubic decimeter. Okay, 0.12. So 23 is boy, 0.12. Okay, 24. The following chemical reaction shows the reaction between the copper oxide and nitric acid. Okay, if 10 grams of copper oxide powder, this one 10 grams, added to 50 cubic centimeter, 2 mole per cubic decimeter nitric acid. Okay, here we don't know which one is excess. In other words, we have to calculate for both lah. Okay, in others, calculate the mass of the unreacted copper oxide. So unreacted here meaning that we know this is excess already lah. So unreacted meaning that remaining. So we need to find out what is the mass of the copper oxide used. Okay. So first we can calculate the number of mole for nitric acid because it is limited. Okay, so limited, so mv over 1000, m is 0.2, v is 50 over 1000. Okay, you get 0.01 mole. Okay, so number 2, okay, mole ratio, so 2 mole nitric acid react with 1 mole of copper oxide. So if 0.01 mole of nitric acid, 2 to 1 meaning that also 0.005. Okay, it's half. It's half, 0.005 mole of copper oxide. So we want to see what is the mass of the copper oxide used. 0.005 times the molar mass. Well, the copper oxide is 80. So meaning that it use up, or maybe I calculate wrongly. Let me double check again. So this one is, sorry, I make the mistake here. So this one is 2.0, 2.0, not 0.2. So 2.0 in other words is 0.1, 0.1. So 0.1 more. So if 0.1 more, so meaning that 0.05. So if 0.05 times 80, so it'll be 4 gram. So meaning that the copper oxide use is 4 gram. So remaining unreacted meaning that is 10 gram minus 4 is remaining will be 6 gram. So the answer is B. D. Not 4 gram. It be remaining will be 6 gram. 6 gram. Okay. Okay, 25. Which of the following produce the highest rate of reaction? So fastest reaction. So rusting very slow, fermentation also very slow, decomposition of food also very slow. So combustion of alcohol, this one fastest because when you burn the alcohol, like burning the fuel, very fast. Okay, 26. When the powder of saltpeter is heated, the following observation are obtained. So green powder, it turns to black. Gas release turns the lime water cloudy. So for this, we know this one light water cloudy, it has a carbon dioxide gas. Green powder turns black. So not many chemicals that is black color, which is copper 2 oxide. So green powder, we know it is a copper 2 carbonate. So meaning that, okay, so this is the reaction. So what is the salt P? So the salt P should be copper 2 carbonate, yes, green color. Okay, copper 2 oxide is black color, zinc carbonate is a white color, sodium carbonate also white color. But here, sodium carbonate, if you heat it, it has no reaction. Okay, for sodium and potassium. Question 27. Which characteristics is similar for all the elements in a group 17? Okay, so form colored compounds. No, it won't form a colored compound. This is for transition metals. High melting and boiling points. No, it has a low melting boiling points. Exists as gas. No, not all. From gas to solid, right? So not all are gases. So the answer should be 27. Should be donkey. Okay, dissolved in water, it forms acidic solution. 28. Which of the following is not a product for the reaction between the marbles and the nitric acid? So marbles will be calcium carbonate, and then nitric acid. So you produce a calcium nitrate, carbon dioxide, and then the water. Okay, so balance the equation. So calcium nitrate, carbon dioxide, and then water. So not a product. So it should be 28 should be A. Okay, 29. A jellyfish sting is alkaline. So which of the following can use to treat the sting? Okay, so we need to find a weak alkaline which is not very corrosive. Okay, so vinegar. Okay, 29 is C. Okay, 30. The boiling point of bromine is higher than chlorine. Okay, which statement exactly explains this phenomenon? Why the bromine boiling point is higher? Okay, so here, when we talk about this group 17, we talk about the molecules already. So when molecules, we are talking about the van der Waals force, okay, or force of attraction between the molecules. We also call it intermolecular force. For bromine is higher, is stronger. So we talk about the attraction force. We must mention it is stronger or weaker. So B is the answer. Okay, so atomic size, we don't talk about the atomic size for the group 17. We talk about the molecular size. Okay, okay, question 31. Table shows the pH value to solution with the same concentration. Okay, so now we have a look here. Given to you the pH is 8 and 13. They have the same concentration. So class, for this one can be used to ask the acid or alkali. For this one, it will be alkali. So we know that if the same concentration, let's say all are 1 mole per cubic decimeter, okay, same concentration for X and Y, but the pH is different. So we know that if pH is lower for alkali, meaning that this is a weak alkali. For this one, strong alkali. Okay, so now X is ionized completely. So this one completely is wrong. For the X should be partially. Now number B, the number of mole for the hydroxide ion X is higher than Y. So this reverse should be lower. The degree of ionization of Y is higher than X. So this one is correct. The concentration of hydroxide ions is X is more than Y. So it's reverse, it will be less. So the answer is C. 32. Okay, table shows the volume of carbon dioxide gas collected in an experiment. So what is the overall average rate of reaction. So overall, meaning that from starting to the reaction to be completed. So when is the reaction to be completed already? So here you have to be careful. Once the temperature, the volume become constant, so meaning that the first time there is the time. So meaning that the time taken to for the reaction to be completed is 210, not 240. So the average volumes, average rate of reaction. So the volume is 16.5 from starting, so 0. No need to mention. Okay, here if you want, then 210 minus 0. So use your calculator, you will get the answer is, okay, it's B, 0.079. Okay, cubic centimeter per second. Okay, now 33. It shows the hydrochloric acid is diluted to when you add in 25 cubic centimeter of distilled water. So meaning that this is the initial one, initial one. So what is the new concentration? So we can use the formula. Okay, I think this one got typing error, got typing error. So it should be using the 2 mole per cubic decimeter. So we use the M1 V1 equals to M2 V2. Okay, so M1 initial molarity, so it's 2.0. V1 is 75. Okay, so M2 is the new concentration molarity. V2 75 plus this one, the distilled water 25. Okay, so what is the value for M2? So divide by 100, so it's 1.5, 1.5 mole per cubic decimeter. Okay, so meaning that the acid now is 1.5, 1.5. Okay, so sorry, just now I looked wrongly. So what is the volume of diluted sulfuric acid that should be used to neutralize this concentration of this sodium hydroxide? Okay, so here we have the volume and concentration already. So this one, what is the volume? Okay, so for this we can use the MAVA. Okay, so first we check the hydrochloric acid react with sodium hydroxide, so it produces sodium chloride and water. So MAVA over MB VB equals to A over B. So MA you need to, we found already 1.5. VA you need to find for the molarity of the sodium hydroxide. So it's 3, it's 25. A over B is 1, because all are 1. Okay, so cross multiply. So 1.5 VA equals to 3.025. So VA equals to divide by 1.5. Okay, so it's 50 cubic centimeter. So the answer is 33 is A now. Is A, 50 cubic centimeter. Okay, 34. Which pair of the reaction involve the neutralization? So neutralization, acid with alkali or base produce salt and water only. Okay, so acid, alkali. Okay, so number one, yes. Acid with copper 2 oxide. Okay, this is the best. Yes. Sulfuric acid and calcium carbonate. Okay, so calcium carbonate is not the best because it will produce a salt, water, and carbon dioxide. So number 3 is wrong. This one potassium carbonate also this. So 34 is A also. Oh, is A. 35. Carbon 12 and carbon 14, they are isotopes. What are the similarities? So they have same number of protons, but different neutrons. They have same 35. Okay, physical properties will be different. Okay, so it's same chemical properties because the proton number are the same. So 1 and 4 is boy. 35 is boy. Okay, that's 36. Okay, it shows the observation when a cooker shells, okay, the shells okay, is put into a beaker containing the vinegar. Vinegar is a weak acid, no? Weak acid. Okay, so what is X actually? The back gas. The shells actually contains the carbonate, carbonate, so it should be carbon dioxide gas. Okay, 37. Okay, so water molecule. So what is a bond? So these bonds is a hydrogen bonds. Okay, hydrogen bonds. Okay. Number 38. CT immersed a piece of filter paper into the beaker containing the solution P. Then he used a solution Q to write the chemistry on the paper after the filter paper was dry. The wording on the paper is yellow in color. Okay, so yellow in color. So normally we know it is the lead iodide, right? Lead iodide. Okay, so what can be solution? So in order to produce the lead 2 iodide, so you have to have this. Okay, so sodium chloride, silver nitrate. So this one you will produce a silver chloride, okay, which is white color. Okay, lead 2 nitrate and then sodium iodide. Yes, it will produce a lead 2 iodide. So B. C, barium chloride, sodium nitrate. This one no precipitate. Barium chloride, copper 2 nitrate. This one also. This one no precipitate is formed. So it's boy, B. Okay, 39. Okay, Ahmad licks his finger to turn the page as shown in the diagram. So you notice that this method is easier to turn the page. So what is the type of bond formed between the X here? So your fingers with the paper. So this one also the same is the hydrogen bond also. Last question. When the concentration of the reactants increase, the rate of reaction also increase. So which statement explains why the rate of reaction increases? So if the concentration increases, meaning that the number of ions, number of particles per unit volume increases. Okay, see whether the number of reactants particles per unit volume increases. So 40 is C. Okay, Then later on, it will cause the effective collision increases. But the main factor or main statement that you need to explain the concentration factor is the total number of reacting particles per unit volume increases. Okay, so that's all about the paper 1. So you do the correction for in your paper. Okay, thank you, class.